What's up out there? Typically, I see these news articles come out on Steam, but apparently this one actually came out on the Melvor Idle website only, and the only reason I saw it is I was scrolling Reddit. So we have news, and I wasn't really thinking this would be all that important, but then I started reading through some of the changes that are in here, and it is going to be very important. So here we are. The upcoming version 1.3 changelog and need to knows. The v1.3 major update is less than 24 hours a day. So as I figured, the 1.3 patch is going to come out tomorrow, which is Tuesday. This is Monday, June 10th. There are some need to knows in here, yada yada. The v1.3 major update is less than 24 hours a day as of the time of writing this post. So I thought I'd use some time to provide the changelog as well as some need to knows so we're all on the same page. Need to knows. v1.3 is not out yet. They're starting off just saying, hey, it's there. You can check the character select screen for the version number. It's not out yet, so we're not dealing with it yet, but it will be soon. So I think this is just more to prep you for what's coming tomorrow. Your mods will break. Due to the reworks of many fundamental systems in v1.3, your mods will definitely break. A few things to take note when the update drops. Double check your mods and ensure they are up to date. Make a local copy of your save if you wish to try and load it with mods. The game generally catches game-breaking bugs before anything happens to save, though. Better to be safe than sorry. You can manually save your copy out. I need to remember to do that myself. Play without mods until they are updated. Note that this results in lost mod save data if a save is loaded without the mod, obviously. The good news about this is that some of the more prominent mods will be ready to go with an update as the developers have had access to the update prior to launch. And one of the mod developers threw a comment on the last mod video I did here a week or so ago and said their stuff's ready to go. So I can't remember which mods those were, but a lot of the major ones are probably all the semi mods and stuff like that. Probably some of the minor ones that have been neglected for a long time aren't going to be updated, but it sounds like a lot of the more active ones will be up to date. We don't have a list here, so just going by the more prominent ones. Please respect the time and effort of mod developers as they are always working in their spare time to provide mods for you to use. Understand that they probably already know their mod is broken and are working on a fix. And a big tip of the hat and thank you to all the mod developers because we get some really cool stuff out of it. Into the Abyss is not released at the same time as v1.3. They typically release the major update a few days before the actual we're getting this quality of life stuff, and we're getting a few things here ahead of that. They could do bug fixes, that kind of stuff. So Into the Abyss is actually coming out on Thursday, so we've got a few days for that. Here's the changelog. This is where the modding stuff is super important, obviously, but this is where I started seeing some stuff that I was like, hey, there's some really cool things in here. Some interesting things that are being fixed as well. So here's the changelog for this is for 1.3. This is not for the Abyss. This update adds new content required for completion of the base game. So if you have the Cape of Completion, you're going to have to start over or not start over, but you're going to have to fill in all of the strongholds and all the stuff that's coming in for that in order to get this. You are provided with a free death on your first load. This means that if you're idling combat thieving offline and due to some potential changes like completion cape unequipping, you will not lose any items. Changelog isn't final as we're continuing to fix bugs leading up to release, and update is not out yet. So we are getting this is in the base game. We're getting 4 new strongholds added to the game, and we're getting a new damage type called pure damage used by monsters in the stronghold. We're getting these equipment slots which come from the strongholds. It's like the items you get from them. So they're adding 3 new equipment slots, enhancement slots used by enhancements obtained from strongholds. Equipment slots are now moddable. Mods can now add custom equipment slots. That's cool. So we can actually have more custom slots through modding. Awesome. New items. Added 3 new standard enhancements to each stronghold. So that's like 12. And then 3 new augmented enhancements. So that's another 12. And then 1 new superior enhancement to each stronghold. So number of items have been added. Quality of life additions. Added a breakdown of modifier sources for various things like XP, mastery XP, interval preservation, doubling, thieving stealth, and this information is contained in the tooltip of the relevant bonus. Added the ability to search for agility obstacles. A lot of this we've already looked at before. You can now view the monster list of any dungeon or stronghold. Added area info to combat areas, which displays information about the combat triangle and number of completions and whether you have the pet or not, which is going to be really nice. Offline progression calculation now displays its progress. And stupid me, I was sitting there the other day looking for that bar. I was like, didn't they just say they were adding that bar? I forgot it was coming in this patch. Added some more combat stats to the combat stats area. Fishing areas now display the interval and XP provided by the fish without needing to select it first, which is awesome. That's a great change. You can now export, download, create shareable URL of your current save from the top right drop-down menu. I thought we always could do that. Maybe it's from the outside menu instead of like outside the game, not inside of it. Bank search now supports queries such as Storm of the Herald or Toth, which will only show items from that expansion, which is cool. Weapons now display their damage type icon in the bank. Okay, we'll have to see what that means. Like, do we get frost weapons and stuff now, I guess? I don't know. Item changes. This is what I really caught my eye. The fighter amulet. This is, I think, didn't this used to stun? Like, I guess I'd have to look at it, but I'm pretty sure this stuns like instant. You get, what, 30 or 70% chance to stun? Changed effect. While you are using melee attack type, enemies are stunned for one attack turn, and then they deal damage greater than 30% of your maximum hit points. So I guess we were abusing the stun amulet too much, and they changed this, so now they're going to hit us harder, I guess. Sailor's Top now provides 100% fishing special chance. And for Atlas of Discovery, the Merman Pendant has now been split into two pieces, which need to be upgraded to acquire the amulet itself. Piece 1 has replaced the original Merman Pendant drop at the Melantis dig site. Piece 2 can be found as a rare drop from the Merman in the Underwater Ruins combat area. If you already have the pendant, you already have it. Nothing changed. The Atlas of Discovery, the Candelabra Lit now only requires 3 candles instead of 5. That's cool. That's a good conversion rate. Atlas of Discovery, Biting Gloves, Nasty Bite, Special Attack, damage now capped at 2k, 20k for Adventure Mode, description also updated. I'm guessing that was a little bit too useful. Monster changes. Now I noticed this. The Wicked Greater Dragons. I'm reading this next one. I can't look at that right now. Wicked Greater Dragons, Confusion Special Attack now performs an avoidable attack that deals 300 plus 5% of your max hit as damage. This special attack can no longer kill you if you are too strong. I noticed that, and I don't know if I've never noticed that before, but it was I think it's when we were doing the Impending Darkness event. As I was cycling through each time, I kept fighting these things, and I noticed that they were about to kill me, and I'm like, these are like some of the most pathetic creatures in the game at the point when you're doing Impending Darkness, and they were about to kill me, and I couldn't figure out what was going on. I actually had to start paying attention to the fight, and that makes sense, so they had to do something here. Throne of the Herald increased Torvair's hit points up to 19,730, up from 19,500. They're now combat level elite. So the reason this caught my eye is I'm actually fighting these things right now in my relic run, so... Other changes. Sleep. Adjusted effect. Characters will now become drowsy after the sleep effect wears off for 2 of their attack turns. Drowsy increases their attack interval by 10% and also makes them immune to sleep. That's kind of a funny change. It's kind of interesting. Cap the damage of burn, poison, and deadly poison to a total of 10k, 100k for adventure mode. This damage cap is set prior to resistance calculations. If total damage after modifiers is 15,000, it's capped at 10,000, then resistance applied for the final value. Okay. Total frostburn damage is now capped at 2k and 20k for adventure mode. Apparently, we've been doing too much damage. Effects of deal damage. I wonder if it's relic modes. It's really opened up some of this stuff because we've got a lot more wide open, more top end on relic mode, I guess. Maybe. Effects that deal damage based on max or current HP are capped at 10k, 100k for adventure mode. Tooltips description should mention this detail now as well. Effects that deal damage based on max or current HP are now affected by resistance. They used to ignore all resistances for some reason, so that sounds like a bug. Confusion curse, current HP damage 3%. Current HP damage 3% greater than equal to 2%, whatever that means. Not sure. Probably a change of some source. Decay curse changed 3% of max hit damage to 2.5% current. Yeah, so we must have been doing way too much damage. Despair curse changed 3% max HP damage and 3% current HP damage to 3% current HP and 12% damage taken. The Throne of the Herald Fox and Dragon synergy changed to enemy takes 100% burn dot damage. Change from burn applied to enemy deals 5% max HP as extra damage. Is that good or bad? 100% sounds better, but I'm guessing 5% max HP was the better one. Option to spend legacy ticks. Boy, this is old feature removed 14 months ago. That's ancient. Has now been removed from Township. If you wish to keep spending them, a mod will need to bring them back. However, we can't confirm if legacy functionality still works as intended since this rewrites in the major update. Okay, whatever. Remove double bone drops from crafting lesser relic. That kind of sucks, I guess. Firemaking changes. Firemaking bonfires, this is a really cool change here. Now automatically relight using the same logs it initially started with when it depleted. This means you can start a bonfire with redwood logs for its XP bonus, then switch back to normal logs to burn, and once the bonfire depletes, it will relight using redwood logs. The bonfire will tell you which logs are used and the quantity in your bank, which is awesome because if you're trying to work on Mastery XP or something like that, and you're still trying to level, because sometimes you don't necessarily want to, you don't want to burn, if you're already at Mastery level 99, you don't want to keep burning on the same log. You want to work on the other ones, but you still want the XP bonus. This is cool. That's good. If you run out of logs for the bonfire, it will default back to using the logs you are currently burning, which is also cool. Controlled heat simply makes regular logs free now. Okay. I wonder if that's a change to the potion then. Like a fundamental change. Like, do we even need the potion then? I don't know. We'll see. Firemaking select logs will now always show all logs instead of only the ones you have in the bank. I guess it's okay. UI adjustments slightly updated the combat UI to make better use of space. Slightly updated some of the bank UI, like the equip item panel. Hopefully this shrinks things down on mobile so everything's not off the screen. Updated fishing UI to now show more information about the fish. Updated artisan skill UI. Image is now larger and the ingredients required to craft are now always displayed. It also mentions if there are alternate recipes. Okay. Cooking now only shows the base healing value of food instead of the adjusted value based on current modifiers, which I'm assuming is because we get the other modifiers somewhere else. Currency now values now show in decimal places over 1 million. And then there's a big ton of bug fixes. I'm not going to go through all this. They're stuff that's broke. Maybe it fixes something we needed. I don't know. Techno stuff. This section details what broke your mods. Modifier system rework. The entire modifier system has been reworked. Simply behind the scenes change. However, it will break mods. Let's see here. This new modifier system now tracks the sources of every modifier, which will be useful for future functionality or for mod developers to use, which sounds very cool. So we may get some really good mods out of it. Allows for defining of scopes for modifiers, which allows us to attach modifiers to certain things like skills, currencies, realms, etc. Combat effects system rework. This new system allows for expansive customization of combat effects around the game. Almost all content that supports a modifier now supports defining a combat effect. And then there's some other information down there. So, very cool patch coming. A lot of changes to it. And I don't know. We should have this tomorrow by the time I wake up. But anyway, just wanted to pop in here and relay that information. So that will do it for this video. We will catch you on the next one. Take care.